If you've ever watched Shark Tank, you definitely know Robert Herjavec. He's that sharp, super charismatic investor who just seems to spot a great business from a mile away. But his story, it goes so much deeper than what you see on TV. So today, we're going to break down 4 really powerful lessons from his incredible journey from immigrant to billionaire.
Just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about, look at this number. By 2020, his net worth was estimated at a staggering $200 million. And the crazy part? He built that whole fortune pretty much from the ground up, with his own 2 hands.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? How does somebody who shows up in a new country with literally nothing in their pockets go on to build an empire of this size? Well, his journey holds the secrets, and we're about to unlock them. To really appreciate his lessons, you gotta start where he did, right at the very beginning. Let's take a quick look at the incredible odds he was up against.
This timeline really maps out a true rags-to-riches story. Think about it. In 1970, an 8-year-old Robert lands in Canada from Croatia with his family, carrying just one single suitcase. You fast forward 20 years, and he starts his very first internet security company. And then just 10 years after that, he sells it for over $30 million, which totally set the stage for him to become the famous investor we all know today.
All right, so here's the game plan. We're going to break down 4 core lessons from his philosophy. Why wealth is never easy, the hidden power of just being likable, the importance of being known, and why you should always expect to return. And then we'll wrap it all up with what it means for you to take your own first step.
Okay, let's jump into the first lesson, and this one is a big one. It's all about tackling a major myth about what it really takes to succeed.
Shows like Shark Tank can make success look like it happens overnight. Some entrepreneur walks in, gets a big check, and boom, they're an instant millionaire. But Herjavec will be the first to tell you that this is a dangerous illusion. The reality is that true, lasting wealth, it all starts with your mindset. And here's the crucial point he makes. A lot of people have this really negative relationship with money. They kind of see it as something dirty or evil. And when you resent something, you unconsciously push it away. But Herjavec, having started with absolutely zero, he never saw it that way. He saw it as a tool, as a goal, and he genuinely believed that anyone could achieve it. Okay, let's move on to our second lesson, and you'll see how this builds on the first. This one sounds almost deceptively simple, but it was a cornerstone of his success, and he learned it during a really difficult time. So when he first started school in Canada, he was a total outsider. He got teased constantly for being a poor immigrant kid who couldn't even speak the language. One day, he came home just feeling defeated and was complaining to his family about how poor they were. And this was the turning point. His father gave him this piece of advice that became his mantra for life. Be cheerful. And you might ask why? Because positive, cheerful people are magnetic. People want to be around them. They want to work with them. They want to create opportunities with them. A negative attitude, on the other hand, just closes doors before you even get a chance to knock. Now, for our third lesson. This one completely flips a classic piece of business advice right on its head.
We've all heard the saying a million times. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Well, Robert argues that's not quite right. He says the real key to success is it's who knows you. It's a subtle shift, but it's profound. It's about moving from passive networking to actively building a valuable reputation.
And this whole philosophy came directly from his own life. At 18, his entire network was his parents, a janitor at a factory, and a receptionist. So if success was purely about who he already knew, well, he was in big trouble. So instead, he focused on becoming the kind of person that other people would actively seek out. How? By relentlessly adding value, by developing skills others needed, by becoming the go-to person for solving a problem, and by just being incredibly reliable. It's not just about showing up, it's about being valuable when you do.
All right, on to our final lesson. This one really showcases his practical, no-nonsense approach to business and, honestly, to life.
Let's look at a real-world example from Shark Tank to see this in action. His investment in a little company called Chord Buddy. It's a simple device that helps beginners learn guitar chords. So before his investment, the company was doing about $150,000 in sales. Okay, not bad. But just 9 months after he got involved, sales exploded to over $2 million. Robert works hard for his money, and when he invests, he expects a return. And let me tell you, that is a serious return. But it's not just about the money. What Robert says he finds most rewarding is seeing this kind of transformation.
His investment and his expertise took these founders from making their product on a kitchen table to building a large factory and creating jobs for over 20 people. That's the return he expects: real, tangible impact.
So we've covered 4 really powerful lessons from a man who truly built his own success from absolutely nothing. Now, let's bring it all home.
So here are the key takeaways. First, you've got to adopt a positive mindset towards success. Second, choose to be cheerful and likable. It really does open doors. Third, focus on becoming someone worth knowing. And finally, pour everything you have into your work and have the confidence to expect a great return.
You know, Robert Herjavec's entire incredible life story began with a single step his family took onto a boat, leaving everything they knew behind for just a chance at something better. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What's the first step of the story that people are one day going to tell about you?